I think it's funny that I started last stream yawning, and I just started this stream yawning. We're gonna wait for it to count back down to positive time, not negative time like it is now. Then we will start back up in our building and explanations of what exactly happened and all this other stuff and whatnot. We are 11 seconds in now. I need to get my phone stream going on up so I can get chat open in another window. And that is open. Mute my laptop, or we'll drag it on down to like no volume and then mute it. Open the chat back up. Minimize that and open this back up. So, I closed out of the stream because there was a major problem with the Pharo that I needed to fix. And the major problem was basically that all of this up here was way too high. It was a good 3 studs too high. So I had to drop all of that down 3 studs. And the reason it was 3 studs high is because coming up off the back of here were these pieces. And all I did was put that on top of that piece there. But the unfortunate part of doing that is that pushed everything up here up higher than what it was supposed to be. So I dropped it down and then put these back slopes on it, so now it looks more like what it should look. That's the only thing that I did off stream, so don't worry, I've still done most of it on stream. So now we are going to go through and clean up the back just a little bit more, and then work on getting the getting everything sorted out. Where did that piece go? In terms of like the front foregrip and doing all of its shaping, which I'm thinking I'm going to have to do snot methods for, which shouldn't be too bad. Should be easier than some of the other things that we were doing. So in terms of doing the trigger, we need to go through and finish it up, which should be somewhat easy. If you hear the laptop fan, I apologize. And I have my window open as well to keep the room cool because it's a pretty good day here in Florida. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, and it's already 6:30, so the sun will be going down soon, and then when the sun goes down, it'll be much cooler. So when that happens, we will be golden. We'll have a lot better temperatures inside and out. Keep checking to make sure chat's updating. It's not that sharp of an angle. It's honestly just like that on the end of it, and then like a cheese wedge, which we can do. And I kind of want to lessen that angle so I can take advantage of one of the newer pieces introduced in LVD's most recent update and use it. Sounds like someone's outside using like a airplane or something. It's kind of weird sounding. Like a model airplane, RC airplane. Sounds like way too weak to be anything like a lawnmower or a reed eater. Why isn't this piece going? Great. There we go. And then it kind of curves when it comes back up here. So I'll use this piece here. Hey Busk, how are you doing? It's kind of subtle. I'll take it out and buy one more stud just to make it more. Yeah, there we go. I like that better. So there's the trigger in place, and it pivots downwards, and you can see the top more portion of this curve as it pivots downwards. So we need to basically take these pieces out more. So that we can start the construction of the front foregrip, which should be entertaining, I guess, at least to say. Um, yeah. So I'm going to use snot methods for this, which is stud knot on top. And yes, I think I'll start right about there-ish. Maybe I'll go one more forward. Yeah, I'll start right about here. So we need to come on down. Thanks for the compliment. It's not as complicated as the CUDA, to be honest, so it's a tad bit easier. Using the snot methods means I can use these pieces here. And it curves in and then curves back on out, which is what we're going to simulate here. And then get a bigger kind of angle going. You just come out a little bit more. Carry that one more out. And then one more should do it. Okay. We will come through and start here to take this one on down on one. And then come through and reinforce everything here basically so that it just stronger, fits better in the hand almost. And then come out another two-ish, maybe one. Can I come out? Yeah, I think I can come out another one, so we'll come out one more. Right to about there. And now we hope and pray that what we're about to do works. If we put that there, and then put this on there, that it would somehow just fit right there. I think the angle needs to be Oh, I didn't mean to delete that. Angle just needs to be a little bit greater of an angle, and then we'll be golden. Okay, so those pieces need to come out one. More-ish blocks, which we should be able to do. There it was. There we go. Awesome. Now that's clicked into place, and we have the bottom part of our front foregrip. Oliver's in chat and Extreme Guns is in chat, but now Extreme Guns is leaving because he needs some sleep. So, good night, mate. Have fun sleeping. I go to say that is a good start to our foregrip. Now then we are going to flip this upside down somewhere back here so that we can come in and add some more slope pieces in. What if we use, yep, I'm liking this, just like that, which is great. And then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. We need to remove these and add another one of those back there. And now then we need to create a bottom angle that comes up that direction. So yes, we need to figure out how to do that. Hmm. I like this because we got it exactly where it needs to be for the trigger guard. But now we have to come through and edit some of these pieces so that we can do the bottom design here. Have you thought of building the HK-41? I don't know what the HK-41 is. Is it a gun from the game? HK-41. Yeah, I don't know what the HK-41 is. Because I don't know what it is, then I really don't know how to build it. Unless you meant HK-416. Because I've built the HK-416 before. Oh, it's a G3 variant. Okay. Yeah, no, I have plenty of G3 variants built. This is going to be difficult. So it curves downwards, which I can do using, I think I have to go one more. Yeah, I have to go one more. Make it curve using these pieces, like so. So that it comes down like it's supposed to. And now I need to make it curve back up. So to make it curve back upwards, we need to get this to come on down. These pieces are some of my favorite pieces ever. These pieces make like pretty much every Lego build one of the easiest to do. Now we will take and shorten this, and we'll turn it into a 3. And then start the curve going upwards. Should be, go one higher, just to get the curve a little bit more sharper. And it reaches right about there and starts curving back inwards. Yeah, now I gotta come through and clean up everything on the inside here. Make it all stick to one another. Somewhere eventually it would all come on to one another. What about a spaz 15? I don't know what a spaz 15 is either. Oh, it's ugly. I don't like the look of that at all. Ugh. If it wasn't so ugly, yeah. I don't like building guns that are ugly. Um, like the Lynx. I really hated building the Lynx because it would look so horrible. Or Negev LMG. Yeah, I don't like LMGs for the most part. Most LMGs are ugly as well. Sorry, mate, you just keep choosing things that I really don't like. Oh, darn. Well, this is somewhat of a problem, I think. No, 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 no. There we go, problem solved. Kind of. See if I can't. There we go, okay. I was trying to figure out how to attach this front section on. I don't play TF2 as much as I used to, which is why I haven't been building very many TF2 weapons lately. Um, in terms of 20mm anti-tank rifles, I'm not really a big fan of them because most of them are really impractical for the soldier on the battlefield. Like most people who have ever shot a 20mm anti-tank rifle will tell you it's just unpleasant. Uh, there's no reason for it. It's why we have rocket launchers and things like that for tank demolition and destruction. The S18-100. Why did I click Google Maps? Yeah, that just looking at that, I can already tell it's uncomfortable to shoot. Ugh, I don't like the looks of that either. IRA list SMG. That's just an old. It's just a bunch of pipes, basically. It looks like a really heavy chunk of metal that you're lugging around the battlefield, which is a problem because you don't want to be lugging around a really heavy chunk of metal. Grease gun or MP40. I just don't have the motivation to really do any World War II guns right now. I still have the MP40 and the MP44 or the STG 44, depending on what you want to think about it for. um, on the list of guns to make. I just haven't gotten around to doing it because I have no motivation to do it. Bubble size Abrams or Challenger 2. Yeah, that's not gonna happen anytime soon. I don't think that'll happen in my lifetime. Or Leopard 2. Yeah. Again, I just don't think that that's ever gonna happen in my time. Something as big as that is just unheard of. Yeah, but I've tried to make tanks before and I'm not very good at it, so I just don't do it. I stick to what I'm good at, which is making guns, which is why I do nothing but make guns. And I'm good at making gunships, but the problem with gunships is that they're all fairly easy to make. You don't really have to think about making gunships. Hey Tim, welcome to the stream. Everything is all good in the neighborhood. Okay, so yeah, it is fairly easy to make, but I'm trying to do it with like really complicated things that I probably shouldn't be doing or trying in the first place. Um, so I'm just gonna go back to the basics and use slope pieces to build this grip because I just don't think I was getting everything done correctly with the way I was just trying to do it. Yeah, the upper receiver is going to be a little bit more difficult whenever I get there, but it should be worth it. Build an MG42. Again, it's a World War One or a World War Two gun, and I really don't have the motivation behind building World War Two guns. It's also a belt-fed light machine gun, and I don't have motivation to build light machine guns because they're big, bulky, and generally speaking, most of them are fairly ugly. They're just blocks, like they're boxes. Like there's no curves to it. There's no challenge to building a light machine gun because all it really is just a bunch of blocks. Yeah, see, Tim will gladly take over the position of making the MG42, so have fun with that, Tim. So apparently Lenny is in chat. I think this is about the time where chat gets really weird. I mean, like, really weird. Yeah, this should be one stud closer, though. Yeah, no. I'm not even going to be talking about that anymore. I'm just going to completely ignore anything that has to do with that. So that I don't ever have to talk about that. Yeah, no. I'm just going to be ignoring it. I've worked with someone on building a glow ace. Like he wanted advice on how he was going to build a certain part of it. And I think the glow ace of firearms is like a really cool firearm design that I would love to do. The problem is I just don't feel like doing the glow ace. Because it gets really complicated up about the dust cover on the left side of the receiver where the charging handle reciprocates back and forth. And that's something that I can't test in LBD. So because I can't test it, I basically don't want to put all this effort into building it, making it look really good, and then coming to find out like later on in real life that it doesn't work for X reason. Which gun do you hate in Black Ops 3? Um, Good question. Let me shift around, guys, really quick. Which gun do I hate in Black Ops 3? let's take a look. I have the controller right beside me because I'm looking at the Pharo, so I'll give you one per class. So out of the SMGs, I hate the Vesper the most because it's got ridiculous amounts of recoil. You basically have to hip fire it. It took me the longest out of all of them to get headshots on. Of the assault rifles, I hate the ICR the most because all it does is get hit markers. Out of the shotguns, I hate both the 205 Breachy and the Haymaker 12 equally. The light machine guns, I hated the Gorgon the most because it's such a slow rate of fire weapon. And then out of the sniper rifles, I hate the PO6. So those are the weapons that I hate in Black Ops 3. Going down the list. Um, so yeah, just working on getting this set up. I should make a portal gun, totally weird but super cool. Yeah, I should, but I'm never going to. There's a lot of things I should do, but I'm never going to do. I think one more, and then we come like straight up almost, and then we'll go into a curve. So I can, I'll flatten it off right about here, and then go and use these pieces. What about an SL8? It's like a sniper rifle variant of the G36. Already built the SL8. The SL8 was actually a contest that I ran, and Fuji83 won it. And because he won the contest, I built uh, the SL8. Jesus, Tim. I think one day YouTube's just gonna ban you from chat automatically. It's not even gonna be me. It's just gonna be YouTube. I think we'll come down just one like that. Time to make a flashlight looking thing on the front end of this thing. It's really weird how this gun just looks in general. Right about there. Stick that on. And stick that on. And then there's like a little bit of a gap coming back that shows how it's like integrated into the foregrip or something like that. I'm just waiting for the day all of you get banned from chat for violating YouTube's terms of services or some crap like that. You can hear the laptop fan, it's really going at this point. We've gotten it pretty hot. It's still not how I want it. Trying to think about how I want to do this. Script design is really complicated. So when in doubt, look at others for inspiration. Yeah, no, I skipped over Zati Namis for a reason. Okay, I think I know what I need to do now. The problem with Zati's is that he doesn't do any like working features in his guns. If he did more working features in his guns, I think he would get like a crap ton more views. Dean is kind of bae. I know Dean is bae. Dean's probably the best builder on YouTube, other than Nick Brick. And Dunn's getting better. He's been stepping up his game recently. I think he's gone around and looked at some of the other YouTubers like me, you, Dean, Nick Brick. I think he's been going around looking at every single one of them and slowly realizing that he really needs to step up his game because he's kind of being left behind. I think a lot of times now, because YouTube is getting more and more users every day, the competition is becoming more fierce. And now that he has competition to be more fearful with, he's going to have to step up his game because if he doesn't, he's going to be left behind and people are going to start moving on to the better Lego builders, if that makes any sense. It's why um, a capitalist society works basically. Because if there's competition, then you're basically forcing people to constantly come up with new and innovative things to keep their fan base around or their consumers around. And I think that's what's happening. And I think I'm done slowly realize that to the point where now he's starting to do the magazine releases and all sorts of different things like that. I think that's something that I appreciate about Nick Brick. Nick Brick isn't that stuck up asshole who doesn't tell anyone any of his secrets. He shows everyone, like, through his builds and whatnot, different techniques and how to do different types of things so that we as a community can come together more, which is partially the reason why I like the live stream so much because all of you guys get to see how I build certain things and how I'm doing certain things and how I'm about to do this really complicated looking foregrip uh, design that really turns out good at the end, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Because I don't have enough room to put one of these pieces in the way or where it needs to go because of the sloping. So I'm going to do something that I did on my master edition of the Ripper. And I'm going to take a 4 and come down like that. And because that's too long, I can always change it and come down to a 3 like that. And that is, it works because that keeps the slimness that I want to it without messing it up. Build an SMR or an AS-50 if you haven't already. So you're just gonna keep throwing guns at me, and I'm gonna like keep all of them on a list, and it's gonna take forever to get around to them because I'm backed up. Because everyone wants Call of Duty Black Ops 3 weapons, because Call of Duty Black Ops 3 weapons are the new craze right now. So I'm trying to get all the Call of Duty Black Ops 3 weapons out, which is gonna be kind of hard to do. And I have to do ones that people haven't necessarily gone in and started building yet. So um, like I haven't seen an SVG yet. I've seen a KRM-262, but the problem is no one's done the KRM-262 reload yet, which let me tell you, that's going to be a fun thing to do. I'm going to absolutely hate every second of doing that. There's like all sorts of other things that I need to be building. I want to say M Dunn is the only like big person that I've seen who's ever done the L car. Yeah, no problem with the DSR files. I might start doing that more because I've gotten requests for from different gun builders that I'm in touch with that want to do the same thing that you did, basically. Which I think would be really cool because that really puts my guns to the test in the real world. I don't play Star Citizen though, so I'm not heavily invested into making Star Citizen guns. Whereas like in Black Ops 3, since I play it almost non-stop, I'm invested in it. I really do play this game too much though. 10th prestige, rank 53 with dark matter on every gun, and now I'm slowly going through and completing off like every challenge that I possibly can in the multiplayer section. And then I want to slowly go back through and get like all the different camouflages from zombies and multiplayer on each gun, and then see if I can't get like at least all of the black market camouflages at one point in time, eventually. I could go to say that that is a almost finished one. It kind of curves back down here. It's not as long as the before that I had it, so I have a friend who's mastered 252. I'll be there eventually. He has Nate Shot on his friends list. That's kind of cool, I guess. I'm not really big into the Call of Duty professional like scene. Um, honestly, like I don't think Call of Duty requires as much skill as like Smite, League of Legends, or Dota. So I stopped watching the World Championships and stuff like that. I used to watch them thinking that they were awesome and that it was awesome how people would quick scope and things like that. And then I realized that it was just like a crap ton of practice before you could get that good. It's not really skill, it's just being practiced at it, which kind of ruined it for me because then I started practicing at it and then I got decently good at it. And now I can do the same things that the pros are doing, so it's like, oh, whatever. So it does this weird, like it slopes up right here and stops basically. And then somewhere here in this area is a like a gauge looking thing. Just kind of sticks off to the side. Yeah, it's too big. That one's too small. Yeah, see, I would love for Battlefield to be competitive, because that'd be great. Like you said, 32 on 32 comp game. Heck yeah. That's a lot of people charging at one another at the start of a match. And then imagine the see sniping in Battlefield actually takes skill because like imagine you're sitting in a competitive scene, someone's capping the C point or something like that because they're playing that game mode, and then out of nowhere someone gets like a really awesome freaking 1,000 meter marksman headshot bonus, and he's like all the way across the map. Yeah, that's awesome. I can respect that. Whereas COD, it just doesn't it doesn't do anything for me basically. It's like, oh, whatever. Congrats on 360 no scoping someone. I like to see how you could snipe in Battlefield where, it's actually a challenge. I think that's the best that I'm going to be able to get those side panels or this side panel looking. There's like two little weird gauges or something on it right about there. Now I'm gonna have to connect everything up and make sure it's all sturdy and reinforced, which I should be able to do. If you're good at sniping in Battlefield, then you should be like almost godly in Black Ops 2 or 3 or 2. I was a fairly good sniper in Black Ops 2. I got better at it towards the end of the career whenever I moved up to Xbox One though, so I've stopped playing it, so I'm probably really out of it on that game now. There's like a super, super small indent right about here. Like, just barely indents. I don't think there's a piece where it just barely like comes out or goes back in. Unless I want to use like this. A Hunger Games type mode on Battlefield? Yeah, I think that'd be pretty fun. I think that'd bring a lot of people back into playing it too. I think the next portion that we're going to have to do is the stock, because I think the stock will basically set up how much room I have to work with in the rest of the model. So, hmm, take it one higher. And then this ends relatively right about there, because it's above the second screw, but I'm working in an even number of pieces, so bye, Tim. I see Ranger in chat now. I know he's been here for a while. It hasn't clicked in my head up until now for some reason. So hi, Ranger. I've already done the ELO site. All I'd have to do is copy it over from the CUDA. I was playing Rush on Karg Island and I shot a guy on a ship from the beach with just a plain SVD. Your eyesight must be better than mine then. I have horrible eyesight though. Are these sixes? Those are sixes. I'm at eights. There we go. I didn't realize it was a joke. My bad. Sorry, mate. Looks good so far. Right about here is another screw detail. And there's another one right about here. And these ones are gold for some reason. I don't really know why, they just are. Yeah, you can't really skip during the middle of a live stream. I want to leave this part open because I need to connect it to the rest of the gun when I get later on, but I need to go up to the top here so I can finish off the top of this up here, which takes in it like lips. So I'm gonna this. And then it comes out into a curve. So I think I'll just take and I'll drop this down. And then I think I'll drop it down again. Finished your you finished your RK5? Congratulations on finishing your RK5. So the weird thing about the Pharo is its stock. Because I really can't figure out how the stock works. Yeah, but the list is on my desktop right now, but yeah, I do, when people request guns, I do put it on the list. It doesn't mean I'll ever get around to doing it, and some guns I start doing and then never get back to doing because I don't like the gun. I think first things first is that on the inside of here, there's got to be flat tiles because this is where the stock is going to ride inside the gun, basically. I was about to say, those are threes, not fours. Why is that? Okay, got it. Then I'll run a 10. Another 10. And then I'll run these pieces to here. And the reason is because if I put a piece here, and we hide this so you guys can see what I'm talking about from a better angle. We now have a track for a to ride in. So the stock is going to stay in its resting position right about here, collapsed. But when you go to extend it, it's going to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, and then naturally it'll stop right here because this piece blocks it from leaving the gun. So that is the reason we are doing that. And the reason why I took these forward is because I can have this extra stud worth of space. So you can move the stock in and out to where you want to move it in and out to. You don't like many of the guns from Black Ops 3? Some of them have grown on me, not all of them. I think it was like using them to get dark matter is what really made me appreciate some of the guns more and more. Like, trying to think of a few. Just open up the list. Like the VMP, I thought was a really ugly looking gun, and then I used it more and more, and it came out really great. Um, I used to hate the way the HVK 30 looked, and now I really like it. Um, the PO6, I hate the way it looks, and I hate the way it feels, and the way it, like I can use it. But it was still a really good gun nonetheless. It does like a crap ton of damage. The SVG 100 looks like a giant freaking box and whatnot, but I like the more and more I used it, the more I felt better about using it and whatnot. So thank you. Whenever you get back, just like message in chat saying that you're back and whatnot, so that I know. I think the problem with most of the Black Ops 3 guns is that most of them are really impractical. We're an hour and 11 minutes into the stream. Like, the Pharo is a super small weapon that probably shouldn't have a stock on it that collapses in and out. There should probably be like an Uzi stock where it folds up underneath here, basically. Like if this was a retention hook for the stock, I could understand it way more as a like a weapon from a practical design standpoint, but this here just doesn't really make any sense to me, to be honest. Um, Sorry if you guys heard that vibration. That was just an email from Lego telling me about their Lego Ideas Weekly Digest thing. All right, so let's get into building our stock. So we're going to start here, start there, and 12 it coming out the back, 12 it, 12 it, sandwich the 12, and then 6 it, and then I think I'll run another 12. Oliver is back. Welcome back, Oliver. I think I'll just 10 it. I think 10 is the proper length. And then I'll just run a straight 12. I'll run a 10, 10, 10, 10, like so. And then there's, like, it just barely, like, sits on top of, like, up here, right about there. And then there's a cheek rest. I'm not going to make the Pharo totally pink. I'm going to make the Pharo the proper colors that it should be, so that's color coordinated, so I know what I'm looking at. Even the Bliss camo, which is the pink camo in the game, doesn't make all of the Pharo pink. Drop one of these for added detail. And then one of these. Kind of curves up to right about there where the cheek rest is. Now then we need to make our cheek rest. I think I'll make the cheek rest like 3 studs in the back because it's slimmer in the back than it is the front, and then 4 studs in the front. So that it kind of curves over like that. Smooth that off the top of it so that it feels comfortable against your cheek. And then run some smooth, slow pieces going all the way down it so that it feels even more comfortable against your cheek. Okay. that on down like that. Put a 6 here and a 6 there. And now it's time to do the stock attachments, or not the stock attachment, the stock itself, like the butt pad. There you go. So it starts off 4 and then drops down to 3, which is going to be kind of hard to do. I think that's how we'll end up doing this portion of the Pharo stock. Hi, shoot 'em up. Welcome to the stream. We are currently in the middle of making the butt pad for the Pharo. Should be pretty much finished up. I just need to go through and color it all black so that it all looks the proper color that it should be. And then I need to basically come in and actually thin this on out. I need to thin it on out to roughly right about there. And then proceed to hide all our side panels here and whatnot, and get in here and do some touch-up work because I just deleted some of those bricks. Shouldn't be too hard. I just need to move that up, basically this up. Do it on this side as well. Delete that. Copy that on over here. delete that and that. Oop. Actually, instead of deleting those, we can grab them, drag them out, switch over to red, go 10, here, and there. Black and LED looks navy blue. Yeah, it does. That's why I have to switch things around in like Pavre or LED to Pavre because it looks way better in Pavre than it does on standard LED. So that is the Pharo stock for now. Ranger is back. Welcome back. Let's see. I think I'll start slow and just like slowly work my way to what am I even saying at this point? I'm gonna start small and just slowly work my way forward. So I think we're right about here, I would say. It's a good place to start. Kind of bumps out a tad bit before curving up into the top part of the first part of the iron sight. Um, I think I'll instead make this all of this like 2 studs wide just for a little bit extra. And run 2x4s going across so that if I go back and I put beams going through it, it'll be stronger. Stock came out pretty nice and you're working on the ACR. Thanks about the stock and good luck on your ACR. ACR is a complicated gun to do. I don't really like the looks of the ACR to be honest. Like certain ACRs I like the looks of from like certain angles, and then other ACRs from different angles I don't like the look of. It's really weird. Rear sight's probably going to be built off of 3 studs, so I'm going to leave that option open and then delete that so that I can run beams coming down the length of this because there will be beams going through all of this. Where's my share at? I'm gonna readjust really quick. So I can rotate my chair on around and prop my feet up on it so that I have a better way of sitting, basically. I got like 50% left on my phone. It's only 8:04. I think Luke will be on right around like 10:30 or so. So we got a pretty good amount of time to finish it off, most of it, if not all of it. So on the inside of here is where your barrel starts, basically. So to kind of get it in the middle of everything, and I think I'll put it just a tad bit higher. We'll go with this. And then I think we'll start with one of the beams that I'm talking about. My guns have so much detail, thank you. The beam that I was talking about, I think we'll use a 32 for. Oh yeah, that's perfect, awesome. Because that's about the same length as the barrel as well, which means we should be great, like once we get around to doing the barrel now. Put that up piece on there so that it attaches. And then we'll come up and we'll put these like in between it, basically, because this section is higher than this little thing, and then the iron sights will obviously be going there, so that section doesn't matter right now, but it will eventually. Okay, so barrel, there's a certain piece right here that I wanted to use for this, this little part in the barrel. Oh no, I don't want that gap though. Gap is not wanted. I will probably have to live with it. Do I have an Instagram? I made one back in high school, and then I'll be honest with you, I never used it and forgot pretty much everything to it. I forgot the password, um, and how to log in and how to use Instagram and everything. It's not that I'm not like uncomfortable sharing it, I just forgot it. All of this needs to come up by one. So delete what it's sitting on and then take it all up by two because I deleted the one that it was sitting on. And then I'm pretty sure I just need to come in with a 3, around a 4. 3 that, 3 that, 3, 3, and then I'll run some plates and whatnot. Just like that. And then the reason I raised all of it by one stud is because on the inside here it does something like this basically, and that's part of the detail that I wanted to get in on top of. It'd be really nice if I could actually if I could fit those up on top of here. No, I can't fit those up on top of there. No. That's honestly not that big of a deal because I just wanted to cover up that the trigger, and I could just do that or not. Why can't I? That's because this piece here is considered above it. That's okay. Um, yeah. Um, can I fit those here? Yes, I can. Well, now that I look at it, it's got like a flat lip here on the outside, and then does this weird angle thing, and then kind of flattens back out. Where does it ends right about where this is. So let's go ahead and copy paste some more of the barrel on out. and end it right about there. Make that the proper color, and make the rest of these the proper-ish color. Do you have to have a computer to do live streams? I don't think so because uh, Future83 or Brandon uses his phone and tablet to live stream. The reason I use my computer to live stream or to kind of like have the live stream is because I'm using it to check stream health, which is this up here, which is yellow, so that it's not good quality. It's decent quality, but it's not the best. But I'm pretty sure you don't need one per se. You have to enable live streaming on your YouTube account and then go from there. That's a question more aptly suited for Brandon to answer rather than me, because I honestly don't know. I wonder if uh, these vent pieces will fit underneath it. Oh, no, they fit that far underneath it though. So the stream cut out on me, which is the reason why I have a computer for this type of stuff, because I want to be able to know when the stream cuts out on me and stuff. So luckily I caught that one in time, because if I didn't catch it in time, then I would have basically kind of ended it, but not really. If you want to do a live stream, I mean, if you're doing it in real life, I think you should be able to use like a phone, and you have to go in and like set up some settings and stuff. I honestly don't know how to do it. I'm gonna also move around again. I don't know how to set it up with the phone. Like I said, that's Brandon's forte, more so than mine, because I'm using OBS on a computer and I could just use LVD. Whereas Brandon, who live streamed earlier today, was using his phone, um, which I think has like this built-in feature on it where you can use it to live stream. So he is the person who could answer your questions better than I can about live streaming without a computer. The front grip looks like a revolver handle. Yeah, a little bit. So there's this little like thing going on right here that I need to try to accomplish. And it's about 6 studs long out to there. What am I doing? I can just use threes. So it comes out to right about there, and then it's going to slim down into a 2 section of gold. And then there is a kind of like a square piece there that I don't think has a piece that I could use for that square piece other than this piece, but it's too big. Um, Oh, I know what I could do. I could change that on around. Just use one of these. And that is that color. So you can make it just a little bit bigger. Like so. And flip that on around. And then extend our barrel out to the length that it should be. And the end of it is black. Does anyone know what M stands for in Model 1911? Exactly what I just said, Model 1911. They weren't very good at naming things in the year 1911. So because the pistol was built in 1911 or like finalized in 1911, it is the model of 1911, if that makes any sense. Like the Browning 1919 is called that because it was built in 1919 or it was finalized production, I should say. Because guns takes years of planning to produce and build and things like that, but for the most part, whichever year it was adopted by the military is generally speaking the year that goes on the forms of the weapon. So the STG-44 was adopted in 1944. The AK-47 was adopted in 1947. The AK-12 is an assault rifle built for uh, Russia in the year of um, 2012. Trying to think of more examples. A lot of guns do this, by the way. Uh, MP40 came out in 1940. Um, the Tavor, if you call it by its designated name in the IWI's arsenal or the Israeli forces, it's TAR-21, and that means Tavor assault rifle for the 21st century. So, yes, there is a cap that kind of goes over this, but I see now that it's not going to let me do that, so. I hear a fire truck. If you're questioning why it's called a Colt 45, that's because the people who manufactured the firearm was Colt. Browning at the time was too small to keep up with military demand, so they had to outsource the patent design to Colt, or they had to sell the patent design to Colt, who then proceeded to make the Army's 1911s. There's a weird thing that goes on the side right here that I don't think I have a strong design for, because like the only thing that I've been able to come up with so far is probably going to be bad looking. That is true. The 1911 did in fact lose to the M9. The funny thing is I want to say the SEALs just switched over to using a Glock as their standard issue uh, carry, which is fairly interesting because I want to say that's like the first military in the world using a Glock as their standard carry, or the first unit. It was either the Glock or the P.226. I can't remember. I want to say it was the Glock. It was kind of a really big deal at the time because any group carrying a Glock is kind of a big deal. Bricks and Guns is back. You have a P.226, a 22 rifle, and an 870. That's pretty legit. You think that they should have kept the 1911? The problem with the 1911 is that, first off, caliber issue or capacity issues. That was the word that I was looking for. It only holds 7 rounds, and most extended mags only hold 8 to 9 rounds, unless you want to have like godly, unwieldy, huge things sticking at the bottom of your gun. The other thing is, I don't want to say this, but this is probably the best way to put it. Women didn't like shooting the 1911, and because our military has gone full-blown integration and let women go into the combat roles and whatnot, the 45 ACP round isn't that controllable of a round when you are of a small frame. And that is basically me saying women have a hard time controlling it. And that's not saying that all women have a hard time controlling it. It's just that women in the military in general would have a hard time controlling it, which is the truth. I don't want to sound sexist or anything, but that's what guided the military's decision in choosing what firearm they went into using. Chambered 1911s in 9 millimeter. That's possible. The problem with doing it in 9 millimeter is that the entire platform of the weapon itself is designed around the 45 ACP cartridge. The ACP cartridge is automatic Colt pistol cartridge, and it was basically designed for the 1911. 1911s are designed to work off of the 45 ACP cartridge, and because they are both designed to work off of one another, if you kind of convert a 1911 to shoot something that isn't a 45 ACP, there are basically just numerous design flaws all over the gun everywhere. And that's because the slide on a 1911 is a fairly huge slide. It's very bulky. It takes a lot of energy to make that slide move the way that it should move. And because of that, whenever you change it into a weaker round, you have a problem with the slide cycling properly. Oh, my gun store allows people to rent M4s, AK-47s, and G36s for $10. I might be renting an M4 with an ACOG. Don't worry, all men are rapists and sexist. Yeah, I guess. From the way that society portrays us. Um, this rail design going along the top is going to be somewhat easy to do. Hopefully it's an odd number of bricks, so it ends on a rail piece. The good news is it is. Other problems with the 1911. Um, Nowadays, the grip, the straight angled grip, isn't preferred by a lot of people. A lot of people actually don't like the straight preferred grip. They like to have a backstrap going down the back of it that just feels better to them, which I can't fault them for. I can understand. Uh, the Airsoft 1911 that I use has a backstrap going down it, and that feels really good. In Australia, they only have shotguns and small caliber rifles. Yeah, that's Australia. That doesn't bother me though, because I live in America, where I can own larger firearms to defend myself with. I think we are coming into the finishing touches basically. I need to go in game and figure out what these sights actually look like because I know what the front sight looks like, but I don't know what the rear sight looks like. So I might have to fire up a private game real quick. In fact, I might as well do that. America, fuck yeah! Game's starting up basically. Um,
I'll zoom out so that you guys can look at the gun while I'm working on getting the sight issue figured out. America, fuck yeah. Now I just gotta wait 10 seconds for the game to start. Okay, that's what the sights look like. Um, yeah, we should be able to do something like that. We have 10 minutes in this TDM game, so fingers crossed I get it done in time. I just hear a bunch of birds on Nuketown. That's not my ideal front sight, but my ideal front sight would be just a blade that's stuck up, like two of these pieces side by side, but or I would take this piece and set it down and put a plate in it, but I can't do that on LEDs, so yes. So I forgot something that was pretty damn important about the gun that some of you forgot to remind me about, just so you know. So yeah, great. Now I have to go back and revisit like pretty much all of the model because I forgot something that literally like the most important thing about the Pharo I forgot to do. So thanks to all of you who didn't even remind me about making a charging handle. Like seriously guys, really. I gotta change this entire inside portion here now because there's a charging handle and stuff that has to go there. So yeah, that means I gotta restart all of this on the inside here. because none of you reminded me that there was a charging handle on this gun. It's all your fault, subscribers. So if we attach the rapid fire attachment, we can get a look at what this side over here looks like. Yeah, no, I'm just gonna be ignoring you guys the more and more you get to topics of discussion that we probably shouldn't be discussing. So yeah, you can talk about that stuff all you want while I just ignore you the entire time. I'm not getting pissed, I'm just gonna ignore you guys. Am I sensitive about the topics that you guys talk about? No, not really. I joke along with you guys, but there are other people who might be watching the video later who are sensitive about it, and it's not my place to make them feel bad about it. Well, then don't upload the live stream easy as that. Yeah, no. I like uploading the live streams though. Uploading the live streams gives people a chance to see exactly how I do stuff. And I've gotten plenty of questions where people are asking me how I do things. Dang it. Not that I'm ignoring you guys, it's that I keep looking down at chat at the wrong times and all I see is a bunch of weird things that I don't need to be seeing. So there's like nothing to talk about because I'm not going to talk about the stuff that you guys are talking about. You guys are too weird. Alright, I think that's good for the base Pharo. Now we just gotta make the magazine, which is pretty easy. I guess if we're doing a simulated bullet on top, it'd be pretty simple to just do one. I need music in my stream. I think that would make everything better. The problem is YouTube's broken as fuck copyright system. How much of an angle does this have? It's not that much of an angle. And I go to say that that is a finished Pharo. Now to color it. Alright, I think that is good enough. I'm gonna do another quick look at the screen and make sure that everything is good. Alright, I think that's good. So that's it for this live stream. Second one of the day. I'm gonna go ahead and go play Black Ops 3 and grind out some more challenges and stuff, whatnot. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to comment, rate, and subscribe for more videos similar to this one. Uh, yeah. I don't know when I'm gonna live stream again, but eventually sometime and whatnot. But I want to say this was like 3 and 4 hours worth of work and whatnot. But yep, thank you guys. See you later. Have fun and everything else in life. Be safe.